Okay, today's topic is to getting started with MS Office Word. The MS Office Word is for the text. This is for the text related data what you want to create it. So here we go for this. Now Microsoft Word 2016 is a word processing application that allows you to create a variety of documents. This is Microsoft Word. MS Word is word processing related to text data. It allows you to create variety of documents that includes letters. You can create letters, resumes, and more. Lots of more data which is basically related to the text. Word 2016 is similar to Word 2013 and Word 2010. If you remember yesterday when we talked about the different versions release since of MS Office 1.0, so it has changed lots of things, but till 2010 the version which is Word 2000 MS Office Word 2010, the more or less the interface is looking same. That means if you have previously used either version, that means either you use Windows Word 2010 or 13, so you will be more similar to that this 2016 is more similar to this previous version of Word. Then Word 2016 should feel familiar. But if you are new to the Word, that means maybe some of you are not familiar with this MS Office or Word. So for you, you can take it like a totally new thing. Do not try to compare. So we will not compare anything here. We will take it like this is the new thing for you and you are going to see this is as a new thing. But if some of you have seen Word 2013 or 10, then you will feel like it is similar to that Word 2016. This was that Word 2016 is somehow similar to that Word 2010 or 13. Now you should first take some time to become familiar with the Word 2016 interface if you have not seen anything before. So we will take it as a you have not seen anything before. Okay. So first the interface. The interface of MS Word. One more thing, after this 2010, the MS Office 2010, what they changed, Microsoft has make a similar interface for all these tools. That means all the other applications. That means if you see the interface in MS Word, so the same interface you will see in MS Excel, you can see the same interface in MS PowerPoint also. So why they make it similar to every application? To be ease of use. That means user will not get confused with different interfaces. So they make same interface for all the office tools, all the office applications. Whether you are using Word, whether you are using Excel, you are using PowerPoint or any. So they have a same interface. So the interface they have same, so you will not get confused. In older versions different applications has different interfaces, so users sometimes get confused within Word and Excel and PowerPoint, but now we have a same interface. So when you open the Word first for the first time, the start screen will appear from here. So when you open it, you will see the start screen. Then here you will be able to create a new document, or you can choose a template. Templates are like predefined configured document. Predefined configured documents, for suppose you want to create letter. So you want to create letter. So there is a predefined letter format where you can choose, and then then you can use that format. That is called template. Templates are like predefined formats, and you can access your recently edited documents. That means the recently, if you have edited some documents, then you can also use that one, and you can create a new one, or you can use documents from templates also. So from the start screen, if you want to create new, so you can use a template or blank document. So from the start screen, you can create new document by selecting the blank document option. You can select locate and select the blank document to access the Word interface, to create the new blank document and access the interface of Word. Or you can use a template, or you can use a recently edited documents also. Let's say we'll create new document. So first we open the Word. So you can go to start, we have already installed, and then we can locate MS Word, Word 2016. So it is here, and it is 7 because one is me. I'm connected from mobile also. Okay, so you see when I open the MS Word first time, so options which I'm seeing here is blank document. This is to create the blank document. In this side, I will see the recent document, the recent documents which I have opened previously, or I have these template options. These are some predefined templates. One more thing, wait. Let me increase the font. So you can see here the option for the recent document. If you have opened, now this time we have installed it just yesterday, so there is no recent document I have here. And we have option to create blank document, and also we have these templates. These are templates like predefined settings or predefined options. Suppose I want to create some essential report, so I can open this one. I can create some welcome to Word, I can create single space blank document, I can create insert your first table of content tutorial. You can have these, or you have many. You have multiple options for templates where you can select from. Or suppose now these ones, it will download these templates when you have an internet connection. So when you click on this, it can open it. Otherwise you can search from here also. This will search online for more templates. If you are not seeing your template related to your requirement, it is not there, then you can search on internet also. Directly you are typing, by typing the search. For that you need internet connection. Or you can have some suggested searches also, like businesses, cards, flyers, letters, education, resume or cover letter, holidays, like this. So you can select some predefined criteria here. So you can say click on this, it will go to the internet and give you some templates. So you can choose from the template. We will not choose right now, we'll go for blank document. So blank document will give me the blank document, and it will open the Word interface also. So let's see, I click on this. So here is the blank document, it opens, and here we can see the interface of MS Word. The same interface you will see in all the other applications of MS Office, but only you will see the application, you will see some different options, but the interface is same. Options will differ because of the application is different. In Microsoft Excel you will see some other options, in Microsoft Word we are seeing some other options, but they are having the same interface. So this is what an interface of MS Word, or we can say interface of MS Office. So this is the interface which you will see. Like other recent versions, Word 2016 continues to use the feature like the ribbon and the quick access toolbar, where you will find commands to perform common tasks in Word as well as backstage view. As like previous version, that means Windows 2000, Word 2010 and Word 2013. Before Word 2010, this interface was not similar, it was different. But after that they made it similar. So after that the interface is not changed more, so you will see the same interface here, which has ribbon, which has quick access bar, and which has the backstage view also. Now, first is what ribbon. Word uses the tabbed ribbon system instead of traditional menus. Traditional menus like previous versions has traditional menus option. Now it has a ribbon option which has tabs. It is like a tab. Like like when you open the internet browser, you will see tabs, different tabs. So same as here in the ribbon, you have options, menus in a tab style. The ribbon contains multiple tabs which you can find near the top of the Word window. So in the top of the Word window, you can see these are the tabs. You have file, home, insert, design, layout, references, mailings, review, and view. And each tab has different commands. These options called command. These all options which you see in the ribbon, it is called commands. And when you select one tab, so it will show you options or commands related to that tab. Home tab, insert tab, design tab, and layout tab. And each tab contains several group of related commands. For example, the font group on the home tab contains commands for formatting text in your document. So in the tab you have multiple commands, and multiple commands are grouped together. For example, you have this clipboard group which contains the command related to clipboard. We have this font group which have a commands related to fonts, that means change the style of your text, format your text, we will see those commands. You have paragraph group, you have stylus group for different use. Some groups also have a small arrow in the bottom right corner that you can click for even more options. As you can see here in the font group, you have an arrow option here. That arrow option will open an extra option or more option, we can say, for this related group. Related group, that means the font group. Same as it is another arrow option is in the for paragraph group also, clipboard group also, which contains some more options which is not showing here in this group. So some more option which is not showing here in the more commands which is not showing here normally. So you can go for more option here with clicking on this arrow button. Let's see. So this is what a ribbon you can see here. So when we open the Word, so when we open the Word, you can see here is the ribbon, and in the ribbon you have these tabs. Now in these tabs you can see the home tab, you have insert tab. You see when I click on this tab, insert tab, you will see different commands and different groups of commands. If I click on design tab, you will see different groups of commands. If I click on layout tab, you will see different group of commands. So as we set tabs, you will see different groups of commands. and in each tab you have multiple commands, and those commands are grouped together. As you can see here, this group contains what? Clipboard. In clipboard you have these commands, in the font group you have these commands, and in the paragraph group you have these commands, and you can see this arrow here in the group which contains some more options related to that group. So if I click on this, and as you can see, when I hover the mouse there, it shows the shortcut key also. Shortcut key is what? Control plus D. That will open the more option for this group, or even you can click directly on that arrow key, and when you click on that or arrow key, it will open the dialog box for more options. These are the more options related to that group. But not all group contains this arrow, because not all group has more options. In this group it has, in this group it has, in this group it also has, in this group you can see in this editing group there is no arrow because it does not contain more option. It contains only these 3 commands. So there is no more option here in this group, so there is no arrow available in that group. But the group which contain more option, it contains this arrow key which you can click to get the more options. Then we can do this, we can show and hide the ribbon. Now why we show and hide the ribbon? If you find that the ribbon takes up too much screen space, so if you feel like it is taking too much screen space of the screen, as you can see it is very wide ribbon. It is very much wide ribbon, almost it is 2 inches or 1.5 inch wide, and you feel like it is taking too much space of your screen, then you can hide this ribbon. For hiding the ribbon, you have here in the right corner, to do this, click the ribbon display option arrow in the upper right corner of the ribbon. Then select the desired option from the drop down menu. So this is the option which you can select from the right corner. When you click on that, you will see these 3 options: auto hide, show tab, and show tab and commands. By default it is on show tab and commands. So by default it shows the commands also and tabs also. But if you select this one, auto hide ribbon, then what it will do? Auto hide display your document in full screen mode and completely hides the ribbon from view. To show the ribbon, click the expand ribbon command at the top of the screen. So for seeing the ribbon, you have to click on the expand ribbon command. Otherwise it will completely hide the ribbon. Or you can select this show tab option. This option hides all the commands when they're not in use, but tab will remain visible, and to show the ribbon, simply click on the tab so you can see the commands. So it will show you the tabs but not the commands. And this last option says what? Show tabs and commands. Show tabs and commands, that means maximizes the ribbon, and you can see the tabs also, and you can see the commands also. All of the tabs and commands will be visible. The option is selected by default when you open Word for the first time. So the option show tabs and commands are default. You can change it if you feel like you are having a less screen to use. So suppose I feel I am having a less screen. So in the top corner here, I have this option for ribbon. So when I click on this, I got these 3 options. By default, this one is selected, show tabs and commands. If I say hide, auto hide the ribbon. Now you can see our document is in full screen mode and there is no ribbon, there is no tab. But if I go here, I can see a line. and when I click on this, I can see the tab and command. Now when you click on the document, then it is not in use. So when it is not in use, it will not display, it will hide the ribbon. And when you want to see, then you have to go here and click on this. I think line one is me.
Ask them to hold on, guys. 5 minutes. Wait, hold on. Just tell them, please wait.
Hello students, just wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm in software teacher.
Okay, so now what it is on auto hide. So when I go there and click on this 3 dots, so it comes back, and when I go back to my document, it disappears automatically. Now it will not come back until I change the setting. So I click on here. Wait, let me zoom this. So in the top right corner, when it is in auto hide, you can see this. This is to get it back, and to change the option, you have this arrow option for changing the display option. So when you click on this, then you can go back to what you want. So we are right now on auto hide. Now I'll go for show tabs. So when I click on show tabs, now what it is doing here, it is showing only tabs. You can see the tabs are visible. You can see the tabs are visible, but the ribbon commands are not there. So it is only showing the tabs. It will not disappear automatically. It will always show you the tabs. But if you need commands, then you have to click on the tab. Like I click on home, so it get me those commands. When I go back to the document, the tabs, the commands will disappear. So only tabs is showing. It will also save a screen space, or if you want everything, then you can go for show tabs and commands. Now it shows everything. It is showing the tabs also. It is showing the ribbon command also. One more option you have to hide if you want. You can hide it from this arrow also. You can hide it from here also. It will hide the command, not the ribbon. What is it saying here? Collapse the ribbon. Need a bit more space. Collapse the ribbon so only the tabs names shows. So it goes to tab only, this option. And it also shows you here the shortcut key. The shortcut key, it is saying what? Control F. So you can use Control F to hide and display the ribbon tab also, this command also. So if I click on here, it also do what? Collapse the commands. When I click on the tab, the commands will back. When I go to document, the commands will disappear. If I want to change back to the tabs and commands, then I can press Control plus F1 key, and it get back to command and tab option. So this is to get some more space from your document, in your document. Then there is one more useful command is there, which is called tell me feature. So if you are having a trouble finding command you want, there is lots of commands in here in the MS Word. Some of them is showing there in the group, some of there is in the advanced option. Now if you want to find something, you are not finding, you are searching everywhere in all the tabs, you are searching here and there, and you are not able to find some command, then you can go and search here in this tell me feature. It's a search box where you can search for the different command. This tell me feature can help, and it works just like a regular search bar. So type what you are looking for and a list of options will appear, and you can then use the command directly from the menu without having to find it on the ribbon. So instead of going for finding in the ribbon, you can just go and search there, and you can directly use your command from there. For example, here what I'm doing here, I'm searching here add page number. I wanted to add page number to the document. So I find like where did I get this command? I say let me find it here. I say let me tell me feature. I go there and I search add page number. So it opens the related options like this, and then you can go and search, and you can go and select what you want. Like for example, this is tell me feature here. In the command, in the tab, in the end of the tabs, you can see this tell me what you want. This is called tell me feature. It is like a search box. When I click here, it gives me option to search. Like I say add page number. Now you can see as I am typing, it is start showing me related options, and these are the options it has searched. And in this option I have these other options, and it's depend, I can choose one of these option what I want to apply. So this tell me feature is also helpful if you want to find something which is you're not able to find normally, or you are searching in, you are not able to find it. Then you can do what, you can use this tell me feature, the tell me search also. Then there is an option called the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar, it is located just above the ribbon. The quick access toolbar lets you access common commands no matter which tab is selected. Remember, when you select any tab, you will see only the commands which is under that tab. You will not see other commands. Now in the quick access bar, in the quick access toolbar, you can see the command which is not related to tab. That means it is not depending on the tab. You can get it from it does not matter which tab you are in, you can just directly get that command. By default it shows the save, undo and redo commands. By default, as you can see in the image here, you can see this is the toolbar, access toolbar, quick access, and here you can see you have save option, you have undo option. If you did some wrong, you want to do reverse the option, you want to reverse it, then you have this undo. Then you have redo option to redo also, and you have one more option there to add some more commands there. So by default it shows save, undo and redo commands, but you can add other commands depending on your need. To add commands in the quick access bar, you click on the drop down arrow to the right of the quick access toolbar. This is the arrow key. So if you want more command, to add more command here, you click on that arrow, it will open this option. Then you can select the command you want to add from the menu. You have some defined there that these are some options command you can use. So you can select one of them from there, and that will then it will appear here in the quick access bar. Like it has like here I selected what the command will be added to the quick access toolbar. Here I selected like printing, quick printing. So as you can do, you can also select different commands here. So where is that quick access toolbar? You can see it is here. Regarding this tabs, we are in any other tab, but these toolbar quick access toolbar commands will remain same. Save, you have undo and you have redo. You want more, then you have this arrow key. You click on that, it will open the options like what you want. Like suppose you want to open every time new document mostly, then you can have you can add this new option there. You can have open option there. You can add open command. You can add email command also. You can add the quick print, like you just quickly want to print those documents. The print command is there somewhere in the tabs. Remember, these commands are there in these tabs, but for them you have to look for that. But you don't want to just look everywhere. You just want to get it quickly, so you can add it here. So you can add quick print, you can add print review, the print preview and print, and then you can have spelling and grammar option. Undo redo is already there. You have draw table option, you have touch mouse mode, you have more commands option also, which is not showing here. You are seeing some commands here which is actually people use mostly, but if you need some different and more, then you can go for this more command, and then you can add some more command from more option. For example, I want to add this quick print. So when I click on this, now I can see this quick print option available in quick access toolbar. And if I don't want to remove this, then if I want to remove this, then again I go to there and you can see it is checked. So when I click again, it will remove. And now you can see it is not showing there, it is removed. So this is your quick access toolbar, which is very good for using the quick commands which you want, or which you use regularly. So you can add there to get the quick access. Then one more useful option is called ruler. This ruler is located at the top and the left of your document. It makes it easier to adjust your document with precision. If you want, you can hide the ruler to create more screen space. The ruler is like you can adjust your document. Suppose if in your document you're typing something, you're editing something, you're adding images, you're adding shapes, then what you can do, you can use that tool to, yes, go through Google Sheet. They have to wait. I am on the lecture. Okay, after that I'll do that. So this ruler will help you to adjust your document. So you can adjust according to, like in the same line, like you have added shapes and images or text and you want to add them into the same line in same scale, then this ruler will help you to do that. You can check in the ruler and you can adjust your document. So if by default it is not there, but if you want to see, and remember it will take some more space on your screen. You can see there is no ruler here added, but if we add the ruler here, take some more space from the document. It will take some more space from my document. So if I want to add the ruler, then what I have to do here, I have to go to the view tab. There is a tab called view. In the view tab, I have option here ruler. In the show group, I have option to select the ruler, and when I select the ruler, and then the ruler will appear. So let's say I want to have a ruler here. Now it will appear here in the top of the document, for the horizontal thing, and in the left side of the document for vertical alignment. It helpful for align your document, align your objects in the document. So if you want the ruler, then you go to the view tab and then you can select this ruler from here. You click on this, and as you click, you can start see this ruler. You can see the ruler in the top, and you can see the ruler here in the left corner, and it is showing you a measurement in inches. You can see 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, and here also 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, like this. But as you can see, it takes a little more space of your screen. So if you don't like, you want more screen space, then you can remove the ruler. So you can add the ruler as you required, like you want sometime, then you can add, and then when you are not needed, then you can remove it. So depends on your requirement, you can add, you can remove the ruler. Then one more thing, it is called backstage view. This backstage view gives you various options for saving, opening a file, printing and sharing your document. So it gives you lots of different options. This is called backstage view. To access the backstage view, you click on the file tab on the ribbon. In the ribbon you have the file tab. So in the ribbon you click on the file tab, it will take you to the backstage view. The document will remain there, it will not save, it will not delete, and you will move to the backstage. And what you will see on the backstage, you will see this screen. This screen which contains multiple different options to manage your document, to open new document, to save your document, to share your document, and to print your document, and some other options also. So let me show you that. So if you want to see the backstage view, you will click on this file tab from the ribbon, and when you click, this backstage view will open, and this backstage view will contain these other informations like info will give you the information of your document which is currently open. Then it will give you, if you want new document to open, then you can click for new. You can open new blank, you can open it from template, or you have, if you have some saved document in your machine in other drive, so you can open it from open. You can select where you want to open from. You can see the recent documents here. You can open it from the OneDrive. Now OneDrive is your network drive, cloud drive, like Google Drive, but for this you need to sign in. It is saying that you have to first sign up. You have to first sign in to get the Google Drive, OneDrive. This is same like Google Drive. If you save your document here, you can get it anywhere in the world from the internet. Then if you can get your document in this PC, then you can open it from this PC. You can, right now you are in document folder, you can press up, you can go to this PC. It is loading. In this PC you have desktop, download, C drive and DVD drive. So you are having a document somewhere, then you can go there and you can open your document from that location, or you can add some more places. The more places like a cloud space, that is OneDrive and OneDrive for business. If you have to sign in first, and you can browse your machine to get your document. So if you select browse, it will open the dialog box, and then you can browse your machine to get your document if you have saved document somewhere. Then you get the option to save your document. You can save, and it says where you want to save. You want to save it on the OneDrive, you want to save it in the same document, same machine, you want to add some drives here, you can browse and save your document, and you can go for save as also. Now these options we will see in detail. This option, close option, will do what? It will close the document, and if you have not saved, then it will ask you to save the document. Now if you want to go back to the document, then you have this back option. You click on this back option, you will go back to the document. Now after the backstage view, one more thing you should know, that it is called document view and zooming option. View and zooming option, that means how you want to see your document. And you have zoom option also. Zoom to get more big. That means you can zoom your document to see clearly your text. So if your text is not visible properly, then you can zoom it. So Word has a variety of viewing options that change how your document is displayed. You can choose to view your document in read mode, print mode, or web layout. So there are three views we have in our Word: read mode, print layout, or a web layout. Now these views can be useful for various tasks, specifically if you are planning to print the document. Suppose I'm making a document and I have a plan to print the document. So you can use the print layout mode, and you can also zoom in and out to make your document easier to read. Now switching document views, if you want to switch between these views, so switching between different document views is easy. You can just locate and select the desired document view command in the bottom right corner of the Word window. So in the Word window, you can see in the bottom, these viewing option. So in the bottom of the document, so this is our document. And in the bottom of the document, this thing here in the right corner, you have these options. You have this option for view, read mode, print layout, and web layout. And also you have this zoom option. It is on the middle of the zoom, that means not minus, not plus, it is 100% zoom. You can increase the zoom, you can decrease the zoom, you can change the print layout. Now this ribbon, the end of the document, bottom of the document, this ribbon called status bar. This is called status bar. So in this status bar, you see this viewing options. You see some more options here in this side of the status bar, of the left side. On the left side, you can see the page option. That means how many pages you have in your document, and it also shows you that how many words you have in the document. Right now we don't have anything, so it is not showing, but we have one page, so it is showing only one page. Now by default, your document, when you open it, always be on the print layout, but you can change it to read mode, you can change it to web layout mode. Now what these modes are: So read mode is what? This view opens the document to a full screen. This view is great for reading the large amount of text or simply reviewing your work. This mode is only for reading, like you're reading a book. So when you are reading a book, like you are not going to edit it. So it will remove all those editing options and your document will go on full screen. And you can just read page by page, screen by screen. It does not go by page, it goes like screen by screen. You can have this arrow here to change the page. Then you have another layout which is the default. It is called print layout. This is the default document view in Word. It shows the document will look like on the printed page. Remember, print layout is what? Like if I want to print the document, like right now I'm creating the document, but after creating I want to edit the print the document. So for printing the document, what I need, I need to see that how it will look on the page and how it will print out. So you will get the idea like that when I print out the document, so in one page how much text until when the text will come, and then in next page what text will come. So I will get the idea and according to that I can create my document. So that is why actually by default this Word always be on the print layout. That means you are creating the document, that means you may print out this document, and that is help, that will give you help like when you print out, so how it will print out on the page. Then web layout. This view displays the document as a web page. It displays as a web page. You know, in the web pages, if you go to the web page, it does not display a website as a page. Websites does not display as a page. It goes straight as a web page. So if you are creating the page, document and you are thinking about like you want to publish it on the website, so you should first check that how it will go and how it will look when I publish it on website, because on the website, on web pages, it will not look like a document, it will not go as a page by page. So you can see that how your document will display on the web page. So for seeing that before publishing, you can see that by going to the page layout. So according to that you can create your document. So if you are deciding like after creating I want to publish this document on the website, on the web page, on some forum, or on some web site, anything, so I should know that how it will look, because it can change some font and format of your document. Then you have zoom option there, as you can see. So zoom in and zoom out also you can do. To zoom in or out, click and drag the zoom control slide bar in the bottom right corner of the Word window, and you can also select the plus and minus command there to zoom in or out. By smaller increment, the number next to the slider displays the current zoom percentage, also called the zoom level. So you can see the zoom level there, percentage as 100%, 200%, 120%. You can use the slide bar there, or even you can use the command plus and minus to change the zoom option. Let's say I want to do that. Now our document does not contain anything. So what I'm going to do, I will open some document which contains some data. So see, I want to open something. So I'll go to file and I will go for open. Now I will say, okay, I have a document somewhere, I don't know, so I will browse it. So is it on C drive? Is it on document? No. Is it on download? No. In pictures? I think it is not. On desktop? I have some sample files on desktop. No. Okay, here I have some sample files. Okay, I'll select this one. Now it has opened this document which contains some data here. And how many pages I have here in this document? So in the bottom side, if I go in the left side, I see page, I have 2. I'm on page 2. If I move to page 1, so you can see right now I'm on page 1 of 2. That means total I have 2 pages and I'm on page 1, and totally I have 289 words. And also it is showing language also, that which language I have. This language it takes from my machine, that means my operating system. So in my operating system, the language which I configured, it takes from that. Now I want to change the view. So for that I will go to this side, right side, and then I can change the view. By default it is on page layout, and we have zoom option. Let me do what, first I will zoom out. So I can do this, I can drag this slide bar, or I can do this minus command also. I can use this plus command also. Plus means you can see the percentage it is increasing, and you can see our document is also getting enlarged. You can see it is enlarged. Now because it is enlarged, so I have this slide bar here because it is not fitting in the screen. So I have a slide bar here to move this side and for this side. If I do minus, so it is getting small, 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 and small. And now why I did zoom out, so that you can see right now we are on print layout. So print layout, that means it is showing here page by page. Your document is showing here page by page. That means when we print out this document, so one page will contain these text, and then second page will contain this text. So I was planning this document to print. So before, when I create this document, so I will always select this print layout and then create the document. So when I print out the document, it will print out as it is. Now if I want to publish the document, so on the web it looks different. So I want it to be on the web page. So I will use this web layout so that my document will display according to the web page. Now when I click on this, now you see there is no page here. It shows like a website. Now I will zoom in so that you can see 100%. Now you see it is not a page. It is a single page. There was 2 pages, but now it is become single page. Just like you open a web page. So you can design your document according to this, like you are going to publish it on the web page, so you can design it like that. Then you have read mode. So when you select the read mode, so then your document will become like a read mode, and you will lose this you will lose these all tools which is for editing the document. So when you are reading, then you don't want to edit, so you will not get these editing to commands and ribbons and all that. So I will select this read mode now, and as you see, when I select the read mode, my document becomes like a full page. It is full screen. Now I'm not having any option for editing anything, and I have, like, this is, it looks like a book, and then I can do editing, I can do reading, and for going to the next, it is not complete, so I can go click on this arrow to go for next page, next page, next page, finish, end of document. Can go to this side. So like this, it is easy for reading the document in the read mode. And when you are in read mode, you don't have those editing options. What options you have here? Only this backstage view, where you can go to the backstage. You have tool options where you can do some finding, like you are reading a book, so you are having lots of pages. You can find something, you can find related to some smart lookup, like this is also find, which is a smart. You can learn something about text and document. You can select some text and images and you can find what is it, and you can change some viewing option. Viewing option, that means if you want to edit, then switch to print layout. You want to edit, then what, it will take you to the print layout. Then you have navigation pan, you can select, you will get the navigation pan in this side, left side. You can show you it in this side, you can show you the comments also. Now in the document we can add comments. Right now it is not there, but if it is there, so it will show you the comments also. We will see how we can add comments. You can increase the width of the document. You can see here, this is the default, which is two columns. Your document is now showing in 2 columns. You can go for multiple columns, you can go for single column, like this. Now you see in a single column, or you can go for 2 columns, where you can see in 2, or you can go for multiple, like 3 columns. Then by default it is 2. Then you can change the color also, page. If suppose I'm reading it at the dark room or at night, so it can affect my eyes, so I can go like this, little sober, little dull, or I can go directly dark. So I can do this also. Then I can change the page layout also. It is column layout right now. You can go for paper layout also. Now this is what a paper layout, but it is very out of zoom. Column layout is good. None color, no color. So this is what a read mode. We see the web mode, but the default mode is what, print layout, which shows your document as a pages. And pages means when you print, so your document will appear print as a page. So first page, you can see it contains this text, and from here the next page will start. So depending on the print layout. This is the viewing options you have, viewing and zooming options. Then the text basics. Now remember, see, I'm assuming like everyone is not expert here. As I have said at the beginning, like we will go as like nobody, you all know nothing, you all know nothing like this. Okay, you have not seen MS Word or Office, you have never seen it, so we will go like that. Okay, so that is why I'm going with the basic things. So first, text basics. Text basics, that means this is the word processing document, text processing. So how you will go for the text, how you will add text, how you will do this. So if you are new to Microsoft Word, you will need to learn the basic of typing, editing and organizing the text. So basic tasks include the ability to add, delete and move the text in your document, as well as how to cut, copy and paste also. These are the basic things which we do related to text. First, blank document. So as we open first, we open it as a blank document. So when a new document opens, the insertion point will appear in the top left corner of the page. This is the cursor, we can say also cursor, which you see here in the page. It is called insertion point. This is called insertion point. Why? Because when you start typing in your keyboard, the text will start appearing on that point. So it appears at the top left corner of the document. Then if you want, you can begin typing from this location. So when you start typing, then it will start adding those letters and whatever you are typing from your keyboard in that place. So remember your insertion point. Then where is your insertion point? In that position the text will be insert. Then adding spaces. Press the space bar to add spaces after a word in or in between the text. So if you are typing something, so like you see here in this document also, when a new blank, that means when, then after a little gap I say a, then after a little gap I say new, then a blank. So this is what is space between two words. So if you want to give spaces between two words, then you can use the space bar to add the spaces between two texts. Space bar key is available in your keyboard, which is the biggest key in your keyboard, and you know it is called space bar. New graph line, new paragraph line. Remember, then when you press the enter on your keyboard, so to move the insertion point to the next paragraph line, remember when you press enter, it will move to next paragraph. If you don't press the move enter button, if you keep typing your words, then still it will go to the next line, but it will not go to the next paragraph. Let's see. This is not a new document. So I will open a blank document here. New blank document. And as you can see, when I open the blank document, at the top right corner, left corner, you can see this cursor is blinking. This blinking thing is called insertion point. So when I type anything, it will be typed here in that point. So wherever your insertion point is there, the typing will be there. So you see when I start typing, so it is started from the insertion point and it is still blinking. Now I want to give a space between the words. So after this word I want some space, so I will use a space bar. Up, wherever this insertion point point is there, text your text will start from there. Now you see I am giving space and I am start typing. Now when you start typing and go on typing, so as long as you are typing, it will continue. And you see what happens here, it is continue. Continue means what? You see after this it will, the continue word is on the new line, it comes on the new line, it will continue in it will continue when line is full, it will move to next line. But remember, we have two lines in the same paragraph, the paragraph is not changing. So if I want to change the paragraph directly after typing, now the line is not completed, I just want to change the paragraph, start the new paragraph, then I will press the enter key. So when I press the enter key in my keyboard, so my cursor, my insertion point moves to the beginning of the new line, and that means this is the new paragraph, this is not the existing paragraph. Unless you press enter, it will keep on going new line, new line, new lines, but it will still remain in the same paragraph. So for starting your new paragraph, you have to press enter. That is what it is saying for the new paragraph. Now manual placement. Once you begin typing, you can use the mouse to move the insertion point to a specific place in your document. Simply click the location in the text where you want to place it. So after you have document, remember when you don't have any type, you don't have type anything, or even you have not given the blank space also, it will not take you to the your cursor will not, your insertion point you can't make, you can't change. So after you have some lines, then you can take your insertion point anywhere in the line or anywhere in the paragraph, anywhere in the document by using the mouse. You can see my mouse here, it is showing a cursor insertion. So right now it is here, it is blinking here. I want to take it to this side, so I click here and now it is available here. If I want to move it here in this line, then I can click on this location. So if you want to move somewhere, if you have a document, if you have text, then you can move it. Like I want to change something, so I can use my mouse and I can click here, and then I can add more or I can change more. This is what we do, manual placement. Then you can use arrow keys also for move your insertion point. So you can also use the arrow key on your keyboard to move the insertion point. The left and the right arrow key will move between adjacent characters on the same line, while the up and down arrow key arrows will move between paragraph lines. You can also press Ctrl left and Ctrl right to quickly move between entire word. That means what? If you know that in your keyboard you also have that arrow key. I will show you in virtual keyboard, because So this is what you have in a keyboard. So in the keyboard you have these arrow keys. In all the keyboards we have these arrow keys. So we can move our insertion point with this arrow keys also. This left and right arrow will move the insertion point from one by one. You can see here our insertion point is in the on next. So if I press this side arrow key, okay, this is not. So what, you know the arrow key now. So you see the insertion point is here. So if I press left arrow key, it moves this side. If I press right arrow key, it will move this side. Now if I press up arrow key, then it will go to the up line. If I press down arrow key, it will go to the down line. So instead of using the mouse, you can move the arrow key by this. And if you want to move quickly right left, then you can press Control right. You see it is moving one character at a time, one word at a time. Right side, Control left key, move insertion point one word at a time. Then selecting the text. So if you want to select the text, so before you can move or format the text, that means if you want to move some text or you want to do some formatting on the text, then you can, first you have to select it. Remember, first you have to select any text to do something on that text. To do this, click and drag your mouse over the text, then release the mouse. The highlight appear. So the highlighted box will appear over the selected text. So when you select any text, you can see some small box will come here. I will show you that. So suppose I want to do something with this. So when I click there and then drag your mouse to select, and see what happens when I select. Automatically it opens a small dialog box. This is for formatting your document, formatting your text. So you can do this formatting with this text. You can have these different commands of formatting. This is font formatting, and this is also available here in the font group. The same options are also available here in the font group. So when you select any word or any character or any line in your document, so first you have to select, click and drag, and then it will select it, and when you select, it will appear a little dialog box for the formatting. Then to select multiple lines, you can click and drag the mouse up or down, and to select all of the text in your document, you can choose the select command on the home tab, then click the select all. Alternatively, you can also press the Control A on your keyboard. Like if I have a document here, which has lots of text here. So if I want to select multiple text or lines, so I can drag here. I can select one text, one word, or I can drag to multiple lines like this. Or if I want to select the whole text in my document, then I can go to this home tab. I click on home tab. In the end of this right side on the ribbon, in the editing group, I have select option. On that select option, I have select all. So when I click on that select all, it will select all the document, all the text in the document. And also I can go for the shortcut key. As you can see, when I hover the mouse there, it shows me Control A. So either you do this, it will select the whole text, whole document. You can see it selected the whole text of your document. Or I can press Ctrl+A. It also do the same thing. So after selecting, then you can do what you want to do with your document. Then to delete the text, there are several ways to delete or remove the text. So there are several ways to remove and delete the text. So first, if you want to delete the text, to the left of the insertion point, press the backspace key on your keyboard. To delete the text to the right side of the insertion point, press the delete key on your keyboard. Or you can select the text and delete, press the delete key. That means, suppose I am on this document and my insertion point is here. Now if I want to delete the text from the right side of the insertion, left side of the insertion point, then there is a backspace key in our keyboard. So you can press that backspace key. And if I want to delete the right side of the cursor insertion point, then I will press the delete key in my keyboard. Or if I want to delete some more option, then I can select, like I selected the text, and then I can press the delete key to delete that option, to delete the text. So these are the options which we can use to delete. Then to copy and paste the text. Again, if you want to copy any text or paste, then you have to select the text first. So first you do the select, select the text you want to copy, then click the copy command from the home tab. Alternatively, we can use Ctrl+C on our keyboard. So shortcut is Ctrl+C for copy, or even you can use the copy command from your keyboard. Now when you copy something, then it will go for clipboard. Remember, when you copy some text or some word or some lines, it will store in your clipboard and it will remain there until you copy something else. So if you copy something else, then it will remove that previous copy from your clipboard. Now it will remain in your clipboard. That means you can copy multiple, you can paste multiple times. So whenever you want to paste it, you can just press the paste command, or you can press Ctrl+V to paste. And when you want to paste, you place the insertion point where you want the text to appear, and then just click the paste command from the home tab, or you can press the shortcut key Ctrl+V. Now when you press when you paste it, it will paste. It can paste multiple times because it will remain in your clipboard memory. Now if you copy new thing, then the old one will remove. So it will take only one memory. Let's see that. Okay, let's see. I want to copy something. Suppose I want to copy this word, hand wash. So I select this, and then I can press Ctrl+V, or I can go for here in the home tab. In the clipboard command, I can select this copy. So when I select copy, you can see the shortcut key. That means the word which I selected, it goes to the clipboard. What is hand wash? Now I want to paste it somewhere. So I will go the place where I want to paste, like here. I put my insertion point there, and then I can go for paste command. So here in the clipboard I have a paste command. So I will click on directly paste, or I can press Ctrl+V. Now in that place you can see there is hand wash and it is come there. Now remember, it will remain in our key clipboard until I do what, I copy something else. So if I select my, if I go my insertion point here and again I will press Ctrl V, again it pastes the hand wash. If I press one more time, again and again, that means it is in my clipboard memory and it is pasting the same value every time. Now suppose right now what I have in my keyboard, this hand wash. So when I press Ctrl V, it pastes this same word. Now I will copy something else. Let's say I copy this door. I select this, I go with the shortcut key Ctrl C. Now in my clipboard this hand wash is not there. Now the new word is there. Now when I try to paste it, now what is it pasting here? Door, not hand wash. So as many time as I paste, it will paste only this new word. So when you have in your keyboard, when you copy something, it will remain in your clipboard until you copy something else. Then cut and paste. Now cut is also like what, moving your document, moving your text. So if you want to suppose move your text from somewhere, from one place to other place, it is just like move. So you can use this cut command. So cut command, that means what, you have to select the text first, just like to do the copy, and then you can select, you can go for the cut command from the home tab. Alternatively you can press Ctrl X from your keyboard. Then place your insertion point where you want to appear the text to appear, and then you can paste it from the home tab, or alternatively you can press Ctrl V. Now remember, when you copy something, it will be in your clipboard. When you cut something, then it will also go into your clipboard. And remember, it will take only one memory. So that means I copy one word, then it will remain in my clipboard. I paste it, so the word will paste. But when I cut something else or copy something else, then that word or that line will go into the clipboard. And whenever I paste, it will paste that word or that line. Let's see. Now right now I copy this door. So the word door is in my clipboard. So when I paste, it is pasting that door. Now I cut something else. I cut this signature. I select this signature and then I will go to this clipboard and I will select this cut command. Or I can press Ctrl V. Now this new word which I cut is in my clipboard. So when I paste this here somewhere, like here, and I press Ctrl V, now what is it pasting? It is pasting signature. It is not pasting that door. Now I can paste as many times as I want. It will paste the same word, signature, 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 because now it is in the clipboard. Or if you don't want to do cut paste, then you can directly drag and drop the text. Cut paste is also moving the text, but if you want, then you can directly drag and drop the text also. For that, you select the text which you want to drag and then click and drag the text to the location where you want it to appear. A small rectangle will appear below the arrow to indicate that you are moving the text, and release the mouse and the text will appear. Like I want to move some text. I don't want to cut paste. I just want to move it, because when I cut, so it will go to the clipboard and previous one will remove. So I want to move something. I want to move this March detail of this. I want to move this. So I select this, then I will click my left mouse button and hold it, and then I will drag it to somewhere. Now you can see the small rectangle on my arrow, on my mouse arrow. That means I am moving some text. Then you can see the insertion point is also moving. So you can go where you want to move it and then release your mouse and the text will appear there. Now you can see the text which is there. Now it is moved from there to here in this place. So you can do drag and drop also. Click on that and then drag it to the location where you want and release it, and you will see that. So this is what moving your text. Then we can do undo and redo. Undo and redo is very important, useful. If you do some mistakes, then you can undo your changes to go back to your previous changes. Let's say you are working on a document and accidentally you delete some text. So fortunately you won't have to retype everything. You just delete it. Your Word allows you to undo your most recent action when you make a mistake like this. Then to do this, you can locate in the quick access bar. There is an undo command, or alternatively you can press Ctrl Z on your keyboard. You can continue using the command to undo multiple changes in a row. So you can undo multiple changes you have done. By contrast, you have redo. Redo command allows you to reverse the last undo. That means suppose I undo something but now I feel like that was right, so I can redo also. So you can also access the command by pressing the Ctrl Y. For undo, Ctrl Z. For redo, Ctrl Y. This is the shortcut, or you have a command from quick access toolbar. So I did some changes here in this document. I copy, move. Now I want to reverse everything. So I have this undo option here. Undo one time, Ctrl Z. Now you can see what happening here in the document. 2 times, 3 times, you can see the changes. It is removing those words which I copy there. And you can go back to the, you can see I'm going back, everything is going back. Now you can go back till the last save. Remember the last save document. If you have not saved anything, then it will remove everything. Let's say this document when I open, it was blank and I have not saved anything. So when I do undo, you can see it is removing everything. Now there is nothing. But you have redo also, so you can do redo also everything for the latest change. And if you can't do redo, then the option is not available. You can do redo, undo, you can do, but when you are reached to the end, then the option is not available. So that is what undo and redo. Then one more interesting thing is there to insert some symbols. There are some symbols which is not available in keyboard. Like you are typing something, but you want to add some symbol, but that is not available in keyboard. Like if you need to insert an unusual character that not on your keyboard, such as a copyright C, copyright C or trademark TM symbol. So you can usually find them with the symbol command. Normally you don't have those symbols in the keyboard, so you can find it there in the symbol command. So Excel give you option to add those symbols also. To insert those symbols, you can go for the place the insertion point where you want to add the symbol to appear, and then you go to the insert tab, and in the insert tab you go to the symbol command. In the end of the ribbon, you will see locate the symbol command, then choose the desired symbol from the drop down menu. And if you don't see the one you want, then select more symbol. There are some symbols are there which regularly we use, or if you don't see something there, then you can go for more symbols also, and you can get some more symbols from the more option. Like I have here like suppose I want to add here copyright symbol. I want to add here copyright symbol. So I take my insertion point there. Then I will go to insertion point, insert tab, and in the insert tab, I will go here in this corner. In the symbol group, I have this symbol. So when I click on the symbol, we can see different symbols which we use regularly. So like I want copyright, so I click on copyright, and then when I see here, you can see that copyright symbol. Or you want trademark symbol, so you can select trademark symbol also, and then you can see it is also showing trademark symbol. Or if you are not having the symbol which you want, then you can go for more symbol options, where you can get these more symbols. So there are lots of symbols is there which you can select. It's lots of them, you can see here. So you can select lots of symbols which you want. So just select the symbol and press insert, and then it is inserted there. That is what symbols, when you are typing, you are making a document, then you sometimes need those symbols. Then one more important thing is compatibility. Now remember, this Microsoft Word is changed from the previous old versions. So sometime you may need to work with the document that were created in earlier version of Microsoft Word, such as Microsoft Word 2010 or 2007, or even older than this, Word 2003 also. So when you open these types of document, they will appear in compatibility mode. Now why they are appear in the compatibility mode? Because those documents does not have the new feature, it does not support the new feature. So if you open a document of Word 2007 in Word 2016, so in 2016 we have latest commands, latest features, latest options which were not available in those old versions. So in compatibility mode disable the certain features. So those certain features which was not available in Word 2007, those were disabled. So you will only be able to access the commands found in the program that was used to create the document. For example, if you open the document created in Word 2007, so you can only use tabs and commands found in Word 2007, not you have on 2016. So in the below image, I will show you the image, you can see how compatibility mode can affect which commands are available, because the command document on the left is the compatibility mode. It only shows commands that were available in 2007. You can see here it shows this compatibility mode in the image, and the commands which is not available in 2007, which is not available here. You can't use those commands. So to exit the compatibility mode, you need to convert the document to the current version type. We can convert the document to the latest version. But however, if you are collaborating with other who only have access to an earlier version of Word, it is best to leave the document in compatibility mode, so the format will not change. That means suppose I want to convert the document, but the document is used by someone which is still using the earlier version. So if I convert it here, then it is again become compatible in that person machine, and it is not useful for that person. So be careful if you want to convert this. Now when you want to convert it, then to convert the document, so you have to go, you if you want to all the if you want access to all that Word 2016 feature, you can convert the document to the 2016 file format. So for that, you will click the file tab to access the backstage view. First we go to the backstage view, and then locate and select the convert command. Now remember, in the info tab you will find this convert command. This will come only when you are having a document in compatible mode. If you don't have a compatibility mode document, then you will not see this convert command. And when you click, it will give you a small information about it, that what it will do and what it will not available for the previous version. So if you know and you want it, then you press OK and the document will be converted. Let's see, do we have any document which is in compatibility mode? Let me check. Okay, I think I don't have, so I will make it. Okay, this is my document. Now I am going to make it as a old version. I have option. Now the document is here is on 2003 document mode. That means Word 2097 or Word 2003 it supports. So when I open this document, now you can see it is open in the compatibility mode because it is from older version. Now it will not give me some options, some commands which is not available in that one. So I can do this formatting. I have all these commands. I go to insert. I have these. Now this command is not available. You can see these commands are not available. You can see these commands are not available. This one is also not available because it was not available in the previous version. In the design tab, in the layout tab also, I don't have these options because these commands are available on the not available in the old version. So I want to convert it. So what I will do, I will go to the file tab, and then on the info tab I get this convert command. So I just have to select the convert command. It will give me this warning information. Select OK, and now your document is converted. And when it is converted, then you will get those options which was not available. Now I have to save it first. So I click the save button, and now you see I can get those commands also which was not available, like in this insert we don't have these options, screenshot, store, or this. Now we have these commands. Now we can get these commands also because now it is converted. So this is what a compatibility mode. So this is what getting started with MS Word. This is today's topic. Now one more thing I'm going to do here in the in this topic, in this lecture, At the end of the topic, I gave you some challenges or some task. So you can see the challenges there, or these are some small tasks to do, or to do some practice, or to do some familiar thing. So I'm giving you this here, challenge 1, and giving you steps to do. So you will open your Word in your machine and you try to do these things. Now this is very basics. So you will try by yourself. After doing this, your document should look like this. Then you have another challenge there. You can download the practice file from this link. I am giving you the link from my drive, and you can download this practice file from there, and then you can do this practice of changing the compatibility mode. So you can do the practice for this also. So I will send you the document, this document, on the WhatsApp group. So in that you can do these challenges to do the practices. So from here, like at the end of every topic, we have some challenges there. So you have to do those challenges. Challenges is like a task and small tasks related to the topic. So it will make you more perfect or more to do familiar with these things.